Lithography is a chemical printing process that is based on the immiscibility of grease and water. It was invented in 1796 by a Bavarian playwright named Alois Sennefelder, and it was a popular medium with artists and commercial printers because it gave them a way to produce multiples quickly and efficiently. Nowadays, most commercial printing is either offset or is made digitally with inkjet or laser printers, and they're all processes that are actually derived from traditional stone lithography. Lithographic stones are a particular kind of metamorphic stone, so they're halfway between marble and limestone, and every single lithographic stone in the world comes from one quarry in Solnhofen, Germany. Solnhofen limestone became the preferred and most reliable matrix for lithography because they're incredibly receptive to water and grease, which are the two key ingredients of the lithographic process. As a natural product mined directly from the earth, every single stone is unique. So each stone is embedded with its own physical qualities and imperfections, such as fractures, marbling, mottling, even crystal deposits. And these characteristics are really important because they can impact the final outcome. So lithographers need to understand their stones intimately, and we call it romancing the stone. Lithography is classified as a planographic process, which means that the image is created from a single flat plane. So there's no physical manipulation of the matrix by cutting or engraving to create image and non-image areas. This is done chemically directly from the surface of the stone. The original name for the process was actually chemical printing, and the term lithography was coined by Sennefelder much later, and it literally just means stone drawing. Before creating an image, the stone has to be prepared. The old image is physically abraded away from the surface using different grades of carborundum grit, and it's grained until the old image is gone and the surface is smooth and perfectly level. Images are then made on the stone with a direct drawing process using grease as the drawing material. So lithographers will use specially manufactured crayons, pencils, and washes that can be used like charcoal, graphite, ink, or even watercolor. And this means that the process of drawing on stone is quite intuitive, and it's a medium that suits many different kinds of styles and mark making. Upon application of the drawing material to the stone, the absorbent surface of the limestone starts to draw the grease from the drawing material down into its surface, creating a hydrophobic or a grease attracting area. The stone begins to develop a memory of the drawing, which is strengthened through the chemical process of etching. Gum arabic is used throughout the lithographic process to aid in this particular step. When gum arabic is applied, it forms an adsorb layer on the stone, a thin, hard hydrophilic film that draws water to the non-image areas. So this protects the parts of the stone that hasn't been drawn from attracting any grease, and it allows the drawing itself to be receptive to the oil-based ink during printing. Nitric or phosphoric acid are usually added to the gum to strengthen the adsorb film, and they also help to further drive the greasy drawing material into the stone's memory. Once the grease memory of the drawing has been established through the etch, the original drawing material is then removed and replaced with ink. A solvent such as lithotrene, turpentine, or eucalyptus oil dissolves the drawing material, which reveals the greasy memory underneath. Before rolling the ink onto the stone, a thin layer of asphaltum or bitumen is rubbed onto the surface, and this gives the printing ink something more significant to adhere to. From now onwards, the stone must be kept wet with cold water to protect the non-image areas, so that when the greasy ink is rolled over the stone, it'll only adhere to the greasy memory of the original drawing. We continue to apply ink to the stone, ensuring that the stone is kept wet until we can see that the image has a sufficient layer of ink on it. The paper is carefully laid down using pre-marked registration points, and this just ensures that the paper is perfectly centered with the image. The stone is then run through the lithographic printing press, which applies about 1 ton of even downward pressure to the stone and the paper. The print is then carefully removed from the stone and it can now be re-inked. A stone can give you hundreds of identical impressions from one single drawing before it's erased and is ready for a new life.